Our final semifinal, same format that we saw in the first one. We'll have a staggered start. The 2s and the 4s will start first, then 12 minutes later, the other 3 courts will get into action. Winner of this will move on to face USC in the championship. And Drea, LSU had a quick turnaround.
Yeah, Courtney, they absolutely did. And I saw Parker Bracken from the 2s. She was walking around, and I asked her, hey, how are you feeling? She looked at her arm and said, I got an IV. I'm good to go. So some of the players, they rested, hydrated, and some even got IVs. LSU also brought a chef with them to this tournament that's made all of their meals except 2 to make sure they're fueled properly for a grueling day like this. I talked to head coach Russell Brock. He said, listen, we can't change how hard we just had to work to get here. The only thing we can do is overcome it. As soon as they step on the sand, the body is going to tell them no. The mind has to tell them yes. He said Parker and Riley set the perfect example of how to do that.
Yeah, and he's described them as fighters all season long. This LSU team absolutely gives it their all. They will need to do that again to take down the number 2 seed UCLA. So the 2s and 4s will be the only 2 courts in action for the first 12 minutes. Let's start over on the 2s with Parker Bracken and Riley Allred, who just had a marathon against Devin Newberry and Perry Brennan.
And Bracken and Allred have become one of my favorite 2 pairs. I already love Newberry and Brennan, and I'm looking forward to this matchup.
Why do you love this duo of Newberry and Brennan for UCLA?
Because they're fighters. They complement each other really well. Perry Brennan is a really strong defender, and Devin Newberry a dominant blocker at the net.
I see Perry Brennan there, number 5 in that white UCLA jersey. This duo for UCLA, both AVCA second-team All-Americans this year. Allred trying to go up against Devin Newberry, and she'll win the battle.
And Riley Allred running that back set, trying to make Devin Newberry, the blocker, move across the court. Little bit of movement so she's not as set as a blocker.
Going to 21 points, have to win by 2. And that sails on Allred. For UCLA, Newberry and Brennan, they have played so many matches together. 32 wins on the season, an AVCA Top Flight Award winner. Newberry will pull off, and again, too long there from Bracken.
That set came off the net a little bit, and Bracken could not get on top of it. Sets off again.
But enough power to get through the net and down.
But for LSU, they need to take care of their pass, and they want to push that set up to the net so they can attack a higher percentage kill rate. Make Devin Newberry block, find some open sand.
I can't imagine what it feels like for this LSU pair after riding such a high, pulling the upset. It comes down to your court. Then about an hour later, you got to turn around and get ready to play in the semifinal, an even bigger duel.
I mean, they have to be invigorated. Yes, they might be a little bit physically tired, but this is could be their last match of the season. You want to give it all you have.
And they have made 3 NCAA tournament appearances each.
They also talked about their strength coach, Katie Guillory, making a big difference. They feel as fit as they've ever been.
Yeah, built by Gill, that's what they say. Yes, that's in!
Riley Allred finding the corner with the pokey. All tied up. This pass goes tight to the net. Allred gets her feet there, close the block, corner pocket.
Here comes Perry Brennan, getting crafty around Parker Bracken.
And UCLA knows they want to move Parker Bracken around, and that's why when they're in system, you're going to see back sets.
32-5 record for Devin Newberry and Perry Brennan together, all of those coming at the 2s.
Perry Brennan was dominant last year at the 2s with Abby Van Winkle, who has since graduated.
And Devin Newberry playing last year with Jaden Whitmarsh at NCAAs. deciding to come back with a new head coach too. Jenny Johnson-Jordan taking over the program. Not a new face to UCLA beach volleyball. She's in her 11th overall season with the team.
Yes, she's been part of the program, but now the head coach after Stein Metzger left to go to the University of Texas.
And there's Jenny Johnson-Jordan. Of course, an Olympian, a UCLA alumni, and now leading the Bruins back to the semifinals. They are looking for their 5th appearance in the championship duel.
And she's been a fantastic role model for these young women.
All red in the middle of the court.
Devin Newberry way up and over the net, but LSU responds. Big swing. Watch this play. You see Devin Newberry. Look at this, how high above the net, but Allred able to go cross-body down that line.
Brennan sneaks it past the block of Parker Bracken, and Bracken got a hand on it too.
Set was a little bit tight, and Perry Brennan, the smallest player on the court, wins the joust at the net for UCLA.
These two have played, they played juniors together as well back in 2019, and they felt like their personalities have just gelled so well for UCLA at the spot.
Parker Bracken using her length to get that by the block of Devin Newberry.
So they'll switch sides. They'll do that every 7 points. Our staggered start, 2 courts in action right now, the 2s and the 4s. 1, 3, and 5 will start in 6.5 minutes. This helps the coaches able to stay with these 2 courts and not have 5 courts going on at once. That's how it's been the first couple of rounds here. Devin Newberry.
Well placed to the corner. Russell Brock told us about this pair. He said, look, we have no true blockers on this team. These are 2 physical defenders who we put on the same court because they're fantastic volleyball players. So they made a big adjustment this year.
Bracken, nobody on. Perry Brennan gets there and sends it right back. Oh, and a little crafty shot from Riley Allred.
Amazing dig by Perry Brennan. This is a cut shot, actually just a roll shot. Perry Brennan slides under, but it carries over the net, and then the defense shifts into position, and then Allred a little back bump set kill.
They serve at Brennan. And it's wide point LSU.
LSU strategy, obviously going after Perry Brennan. They feel like defensively they match up better.
Down the line, Parker Bracken.
The execution by LSU so clean, just finding open sand, touching balls defensively. But it started with the serve down the middle, got UCLA out of system, and then they did not have a high percentage swing at the net.
You know, this LSU team as a whole feel like they got a wake-up call at their conference tournament because they were booted by South Carolina, a team that they had beat handily during the regular season a couple of times. And Russell Brock told us we left that tournament last weekend with a bad taste in our mouth, and the training, the practices got a little bit more intense, a little bit tougher, a little more focused, and we've seen that carry over into NCAAs.
Well, they woke up. If
Yes.
that was a wake-up call, they definitely woke up.
He said you don't get to pick when the wake-up call comes, but now we get to learn from it.
Late pull, and Allred recognizes that going deep down the line.
Newberry with a hammer. and that gets us to a total of 21 points, meaning the technical timeout. They'll take a seat.
Watch Devin Newberry get on top of this ball. Look out below. Beautiful cross-court swing, and they will switch sides.
We'll take a seat first at the technical timeout, and we will get you over to the fours. That's the only other court in action right now. And Tessa Van Winkle and Jaden Whitmarsh leading Skylar Martin and Amber Hayes 11-7. The 1s, 3s, and 5s less than 3 minutes away from starting in our staggered start today in this semifinal. Winner gets USC for a championship tomorrow. Poked back by Tessa Van Winkle.
Well played by 22 in white. Tessa Van Winkle stays at the net, swats it back over deep into the court. First, the dig by LSU, and here's the transition ball. Set a little bit tight. Tessa Van Winkle, the tallest player on the court, uses her length there to defend.
And then Jaden Whitmarsh drops it in. UCLA so glad to have her back on the sand. She's in her 6th season and wasn't sure if she was going to return.
She's a leader on and off the court, brings so much energy. And the trio of players, actually there's 4, there's 1 player not in the lineup at this NCAA tournament who have just come back and led this program.
Whitmarsh being one of them, and she's using her experience to help Tessa Van Winkle, who's making her first appearance, and gets that block. Technical timeout at the fours. Van Winkle and Whitmarsh up 14-7 in set 1. About 90 seconds away from the rest of the courts going into action here in our semifinal. Those returners so important for this UCLA team, and they've got returners at the 1s, 2s, and 4s, those veteran players that decided to come back. All 5 courts are now in action after we had our staggered start here in the semifinals. We'll go over to the 4s where Jaden Whitmarsh, who did decide to turn, teammates know best. They told her she wasn't done, and she said, okay, I'm not done. Cuts that one a little bit wide.
Well, the incredible thing about Jaden Whitmarsh, her first 2 years, she didn't even get close to the court. And Stein Metzger, who was the head coach of UCLA then, challenged her to reinvent herself offensively, and she did the work, and she has been a really important part of this team.
Yeah,
success.
He described her as coming in just a banger, needed a bigger toolkit at her size. Can't just go up and power down balls all the time. And she accepted that challenge. Making her 4th appearance at NCAAs. That goes wide. Tessa Van Winkle and Jaden Whitmarsh needing just 2 more points to take set 1 at the 4s.
They are comfortable right now walking with their assistant coach, Jose Loyola. He's really helped this entire program with their blocking, but here you see him talking to Jaden Whitmarsh about how he wants her playing defensively.
Jaden Whitmarsh, the leader of this pair at the 4s. An ace down Main Street. Set point UCLA.
And I love that middle-to-middle serve, just drops out and communication breaks down. They're both going for it and nobody gets it.
Skylar Martin trying to attack Van Winkle. Whitmarsh, yes, tagged the corner. Set 1 to UCLA, 21-9.
Well played, and Tessa Van Winkle had a really good first set, touching so many balls defensively.
So that is the first court where set 1 has finished. We'll go back to the 2s. Bracken and Allred up by a point on Newberry and Brennan.
Parker Bracken, Riley Allred, so mentally tough. We saw it earlier today in the win over Stanford. But they're relentless, and they execute at such a high level. Very few unforced errors.
You can tell this has been their longest pairing of the season for LSU. They look so comfortable together. They seem to know each other so well. And that drops in for Parker Bracken.
And I talked about execution right before that play, and then this is a perfectly executed line shot over the big block of Devin Newberry. High, look at the spin that keeps that in, way far away from Perry Brennan.
Parker Bracken has always had great instincts. Russell Brock told us recruiting her, she always hit the right shot. Whether she really thought about it or not, her instincts were spot on.
And he said he was mesmerized by her shot selection. That's a good thing.
Absolutely, it is. Riley Allred set point LSU.
Open net, and you hear the communication, pulling cross, pulling cross. That means the player that was at the net is on the move in the cross court, and that's where you want to attack.
And that's exactly what Allred was able to do. Bracken to serve for the set. Perry Brennan. Still set point, Tigers.
UCLA has not had many defensive stops in this first set, and that's something they do really well, especially this particular pair.
Attacking error for Allred that ties it at 20.
I feel like the service pressure could be dialed up by UCLA. Almost every play, LSU is in system.
Allred, nobody on, yes, tag the back line. So a third set point here for LSU.
Watch this pass forward right to her partner, and then Riley Allred right down the middle, wide open.
This is the conference pair of the year for LSU. Third set points. But we play on, tied at 21 thanks to Devin Newberry.
Parker Bracken touched it, but on her side of the net, it's going to come down to who's going to make defensive plays and score off of them.
So checking in on the other four courts in action, UCLA took set one at the fours. No other court has finished yet. Remember, we had a staggered start, so the twos and the fours began 12 minutes before the rest of the pairs.
Riley Allred reading the defense really well. I feel like UCLA's got to mix it up, maybe double up a call. That means block angle and dig angle, because Allred has seen exactly what they're doing every time, so you have to switch tempos up and timing.
Oh, a tough first contact by Devin Newberry, and set one to LSU, 23-21.
Bracken and Allred, they're relentless, and they're continuing that high level of play, forcing their opponents to make errors.
Set one to LSU at the twos, set one to UCLA at the fours. One of these teams moving on to the championship. Tomorrow we will also crown a champion at 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. One of these teams will be playing in that duel. Right now, all five courts in action. LSU took set one at the twos. UCLA took set one at the fours. We have not checked in on the ones yet. They were one of those late starting courts. So let's go over there now. Gabby Bailey and Ellie Shank of LSU facing Lexi Dinneberg and Maggie Boyd. Both first-team All-Americans this year. Bailey and Shank, second-team All-Americans.
Lexi Dinneberg gets that tight set, just owning the net for UCLA. And those kind of plays start with a tough serve. Looks like LSU wants a timeout.
UCLA up 4. So while they take a break, we'll go over to the threes for the first time, where Kinsey Brower and Jessie Smith are up on Ella Larkin and Aubrey O'Gorman.
This is a team for UCLA that played really well earlier. Kenzie Brower, first year in the lineup, a redshirt freshman. She plays really high above the net. And Jessie Smith, incredible volleyball IQ. They used to call her the volleyball magnet. The ball just found her wherever she was in the backcourt.
She did miss some time with some injury, talking about Jessie Smith, but these two are back together. They have great chemistry. They're both a little more quiet, but Jenny Johnson-Jordan has learned that Kenzie can get pretty fired up, and she'll fire up Jessie at the right time.
As long as they're taking care of business, it doesn't matter.
That's right. They're 23-12 as a pair this season, 15-5 from the 3 position. So Aubrey O'Gorman will go back to serve for LSU. They're down by 2. Hammer, throw down from Kenzie Brower.
And Jenny Johnson-Jordan, the head coach for UCLA, said, look, Kenzie Brower plays such a high point above the net, and you see it here. Good pass, and then Jessie Smith puts up a juicy set. Kenzie Brower knows what to do with that one.
When you're playing the ball that high up, how do you handle that as a blocker and a defender?
Well, it means you have more range, and you can get on top of that and drive it down at different angles. Tough to stop defensively.
LSU responds with a point, and that means Ella Larkin will get to serve. This her second NCAA appearance. And a service error by Larkin. Ella Larkin, kind of the key in this duo for LSU. Russell Brock told us she brings out the best in her partner. No matter what your strength or weakness is, she can kind of balance that out with whatever you need from her, and she keeps her partner calm.
And what a great quality. You always want to make your partner better. And Russell Brock always also said she is extremely confident, just unshakable. And we've seen that in the battles the last couple days.
They're an AVCA Top Flight Award winner, meaning they played at least 15 matches together and won 75% of those matches.
This particular pair for LSU clinched over TCU.
But now down 3 here in the opening set, with Brower on the serve a bit long.
So important to get the other team out of system. You just have to manage and minimize those serving errors. Fantastic communication there, and Kenzie Brower and Jessie Smith, good switch up by 3 points.
When we mentioned LSU's upsets, the largest upsets in NCAA tournament history, this is based on seed differential. LSU picking up the biggest one as they beat Stanford, the 3 seed, earlier today.
I mean, that was the duel of the century.
Yes.
I mean, incredible. And Stanford had a fantastic year, was so talented, but LSU just had more fight in them today.
Yeah, a heartbreaker for Stanford. The 3's just called a timeout here, with Brower and Smith up by 3, needing 2 points to close out the first set. So we'll go back over the 1s, where Denneberg and Boyd are up 17-14. A little bit too far from Maggie Boyd.
Well, Lexi Denneberg passed that ball a little bit tight to the net, a little bit too close to the sideline, and Maggie Boyd couldn't do much with it.
So they'll take a pause here at the 1s. We'll swing over to the 5s for the first time. Emily Meyer and Yali Ashush for LSU, taking on Natalie Miskowski and Inslee Alden of UCLA. Tied at 13. Placed down perfectly by Emily Meyer, the transfer from FIU.
And at the 5s, it's really important to find open sand, because a lot of times players will pull. Inslee Alden and Natalie Miskowski, very good with dissecting the court with their serve.
That one got carried a bit by Ashush.
You can hear the players say, hey, the wind's kind of dying down, so that affects their serve. Sometimes you want to be really aggressive into the wind.
Threes are back up, and LSU comes out of that timeout with a point for O'Gorman and Larkin, trailing by 2. At the 5s on the left side of your screen, Miskowski serving for UCLA. Ashush into the angle, and advantage LSU.
And Ashush challenging Alden, the defender for UCLA, in the backcourt, not even trying to avoid her.
We'll go to the 3s now, where it is set point UCLA. Service error, but a second set point coming.
But as we saw earlier today, you do not want to let LSU back in the match.
No, you do not. We've seen what happens when you do. Back-to-back points for the Tigers. Tough serve from Ella Larkin.
Ella Larkin just goes back and gets it done.
Kinsey Brower closes it out. UCLA winning set 1, 21-19.
And that made possible by the incredible hustle play. Look at Jessie Smith just run this ball down, lift it for her partner, and also give her a call at the same time.
So UCLA has won the first set on 2 courts. LSU won the first set at the 2s. Back to the 1s we go. Advantage UCLA. Denneberg and Boyd up by 3.
Oh, you got here. Come on. Here we go. Come on,
These two played some of their best volleyball at the Pac-12s last weekend, feeling really confident coming into this weekend. Tipped over and down by Gabby Bailey.
Jump serve by Maggie Boyd. Big arm. Wonderful pass forward. And look at the little soft touch shot by LSU.
Denneberg dug up by Shank. And there's going to be a double contact called against Lexi Denneberg. That makes it a 1-point game.
Really nice transition dig by Maggie Boyd, and Lexi Denneberg just couldn't get her feet to that ball, and it did not come out well.
Lexi Denneberg, UCLA's career wins leader, a 4-time first-team All-American. Service error, and it's set point Bruins. Oh. Ellie Shank underneath it. Now she gets the swing into the angle. Yes.
UCLA had a swing for it. They doubled up in the angle, LSU, and it pays off. I'll tell you, Gabby Bailey affecting her opponents all day long, and then Ellie Shank cross court for the kill. Love the level of execution here by LSU.
I've been really impressed with Gabby Bailey today. But set 1 is going to go to UCLA, 21-19. They have now won the opening set on 3 courts. The 5s are getting close to finishing their first set. Miskowski and Alden need 2 more points. But we're tied at 19 now, thanks to Yali Ashush.
Will we see service pressure? I hope so. 19 apiece.
Okay. Miskowski rejected by Meyer. Guess what? Set point LSU.
I actually don't think that was blocked. I think it fell short into the net, but the block was there. Natalie Miskowski not being aggressive on that last swing, and that one falls short. LSU now set point.
So they will take a timeout. Set point LSU when we come back. We'll go over to the fours now. A big lead for Van Winkle and Whitmarsh. And they just handed it to this pair of Haynes and Martin in the first set, 21-9.
When defense is being played well, you really shrink the court. So your opponent feels like there's no open sand, and I feel like Van Winkle and Whitmarsh are doing that extremely well.
In comes Skylar Martin.
Really nice identification of what's going on the other side of the net and just hitting away from the defender in the backcourt.
Haynes and Martin will try to chip away at this very large lead for UCLA. 1 point at a time. Whitmarsh.
You hear the loud right, and Jaden Whitmarsh attacks that ball hard down the line, which was to her right.
These two came in with an extra chip on their shoulder. They lost to USC in the Pac-12 final to decide the championship outcome. Don't want it to come down to them again. They are taking care of business right here. Up by 10 points in set 2.
You want confidence, you want momentum every time you step on the court.
So the fives are back up. It is set point LSU for Meyer and Ashush. Ashush will serve. They go at Miskowski. Ashush too long, tied at 20.
Yali Ashush made a wonderful dig, just misses that ball long for LSU. This is the point where UCLA needs to attack and create some opportunities, not serving at one particular player, but serving to open space.
And a service error gives set point right back to LSU at the fives. Meanwhile, the LSU Tigers get another point at the fours.
LSU is not going to give it to you. You have to go get it.
Miskowski, right side of your screen.
That ball tagged the line, caught the tape. LSU players saying the ball mark is out. Linesman standing there. Down referee watching the ball mark.
So LSU trying to ask the official to come down and look at the ball mark. Meanwhile, UCLA has a point on the board in the duel thanks to a dominating performance from Tessa Van Winkle and Jaden Whitmarsh at the fours.
That's a really important win for UCLA. That's been sometimes a question mark at the fours. So really good confidence builder for Tessa Van Winkle and Jaden Whitmarsh.
UCLA needing 2 more points to advance to the championship. Back to the fives, tied at 21.
You planning on breaking, James? Yeah. Okay. Behind. Copy.
Emily Meyer, well executed first ball side out kill, and UCLA not putting enough pressure on them with their serve.
Oh, service error for Yali Ashush. We've had so many sets going to extra points today.
All day long.
Keep it coming. Inslee Alden is there to scoop that up. Oh, too far over the net, and Emily Meyer says, that is all me.
Missed opportunity for UCLA. Well played defenses. Transition set carries over. And Emily Meyer happy about that one.
Another set point for LSU. Ashush blocked. Miskowski.
Same thing, LSU makes a dig, has a transition swing to win, but Natalie Miskowski blocks that line. Strong left hand for UCLA to stay alive in this set.
23 all. Alden goes at Meyer.
Incredible response, Emily Meyer. Drop shot, cross court. When you're a defender in the backcourt, you never want to touch your knee down. It stops any forward momentum, and that time, Inslee Alden just surprised by that short shot, and her knee dropped.
Yeah.
Miskowski. An easy shot for Ashush to scoop up. It took a minute, but LSU is going to win set one, 25-23.
And LSU making plays and taking care of them, that's the difference.
Well, Tessa Van Winkle and Jaden Whitmarsh have finished at the fours for UCLA, and they're with Drea.
Ladies, congratulations on scoring the first point for UCLA. Listen, Tessa, for you, you were an alternate the last 2 seasons. What is it like for you to finally be out here and have a chance to compete?
You know, it's actually super special. Like, this season, I've just come in with a mindset, like, I have something to prove. Like, I really want to, like, help this team get a point on the board, and I'm going to do anything I can to do that. So I've just come in with that aggressive mentality. Like, I want to do it for this team, so.
And Jaden, for you, you were on the fence a little bit on coming back this season because it was your 6th year of beach volleyball. How did you make that decision, and what's it been like this season?
Honestly, it was always in the back of my mind that I wanted to come back, but the thing that pushed me to do it was definitely Jenny being the new head coach. I wanted to be a part of the Jenny era, and obviously Kelly and Jose are great coaches, so I wanted to keep learning and growing as a beach volleyball player. And then also my teammates, they're my best friends, and that's a hard thing to leave.
Absolutely. Well, you all played like you loved it. Congrats on the win.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, a big win for those two at the fours. That's why UCLA leads the semifinal duel 1-0. When we come back, we'll check in on the twos. One of these teams is moving on to face USC for a title. UCLA leads our semifinal 1-0 over a scrappy LSU team, but anything can happen. The first team to 3 points, meaning they win on 3 courts, wins the duel and moves on to our championship tomorrow. Well, everyone else is taking a seat besides the threes, so let's send you there now, where Kinsey Brower and Jessie Smith, they won the first set, and they have a very small lead, a 1-point lead here in set number 2. Make it a 2-point lead thanks to the arm of Jessie Smith.
This is the most energy I've seen from this UCLA pair, getting fired up, making plays defensively.
Jessie Smith, somebody that's worked so hard, started beach volleyball at age 11. Her dad was a volleyball junkie, played for Team Canada, and ended up being her first coach.
And she's got a twin sister who played indoor volleyball at USC, crosstown rivals.
Well, we promised you the twos before the break, so here they are, knotted at 17. Whew. Felt that up here from Riley Allred. She has had some amazing shots today. Back over to the threes, and Jessie Smith puts it away.
Bracken Allred for LSU, no coach on their court. Lots of maturity there and trust.
LSU goes up on the threes thanks to a block from O'Gorman.
And a block by Bracken at the net.
Well, let's take you to the twos now as it's getting closer to finishing. LSU could tie this duel if they win the set here. Saved by Allred with one hand, but then hits it into the tape.
What a dig defensively. Riley Allred everywhere, reading that play, just missing that ball into the tape. She'll get more opportunities with that kind of effort.
Again, this is the duo for LSU that clinched the upset over the 3 seed in Stanford earlier today. The third set that wouldn't end. Allred going after a pulling Newberry. Out! And Devin Newberry thinking that ball was in.
Wow, what a pull and dig by Devin Newberry, and I like where she was going. Just missed that an inch wide, wow.
And it's going to be match point LSU to tie the duel. Bracken down the middle, Brennan takes it, Brennan swings. Bracken. Tied up at a point apiece, thanks to this pair that will not quit.
Parker Bracken and Riley Allred, impressive and relentless. I love the way both of them are reading the game and making plays in the backcourt. Huge transition swing here, big pace down the middle, and Newberry can't pick it up.
What a last 3 hours for these two. To beat Stanford, it all comes down to your court, then to come back and get 2 straight set wins over the number 2s for UCLA.
And no emotional or physical breakdown.
So now they can rest, they can cheer on their team. This duel is tied at 1 point apiece. You need 3 points to win. UCLA's point came from the 4s. LSU's point came from the 2s. So 3 courts remaining in action.
Couldn't get any closer.
Parker Bracken and Riley Allred, what a day. They are with Drea.
Ladies, congratulations. You're just making miracles happen out here on the sand. Parker, when I went to interview for your second, you said, can I have 30 seconds? What are you feeling? How would you describe your body and what you just went through?
I mean, literally in every serve received, every time I was serving, every time I was up there to block, I was just deep breathing. Like I just said, keep breathing. And I think that's really what got us through. Yeah, I kept on saying, deep, breathe. Oh my gosh, breathe deep.
It's okay. I know you all just went through an intense battle. Going back to that battle against Stanford, that third set went 24-22. You win that one, make a quick turnaround, and then get a point here for the duel. How were you able to make that turnaround?
If I'm being honest, we had IVs in our arms under the tent out there. We were exhausted, but we knew like one more game until the championship match, so we just kept fighting. We knew we had to be quick turnaround and give it all we had.
Coach Brock said you too set the example of pushing through fatigue. You did it again. Congrats.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, the stutter.
So those two tie this duel up. Now the 1s and 3s are getting close. UCLA has the lead on both of these courts. If they win both of these courts, they're advancing to the championship.
Maggie Boyd at the 1s, big kill there for the 17th point.
And so they'll switch sides at the 1s. Right side of your screen, Kinsey Brower and Jessie Smith up 19-16 on O'Gorman and Larkin. And it looks like they're going to take a seat at the 3s. So we will focus in on the 1s. Off the tape, Denenberg with the hand set to Boyd. And can't quite get it over.
Good defensive timing by Maggie Boyd to pick that up, and then a miscue on the transition set. Not sure if it was what Maggie Boyd wanted, but she could not put that away.
Oh, that sends UCLA scrambling with the serve from Ellie Shank.
That was just a dart, straight serve down the line, catching Maggie Boyd by surprise. Look at the pace, making her move to try and get that ball. I love that kind of service pressure.
Boyd, poke, short poke.
Little directional poke, cut shot by Maggie Boyd.
All right, the threes are back up, so we want to bring them back in. Again, if UCLA wins on both of these courts, they're up on both courts. They win the duel. Denenberg just bombed a serve.
Good mindset for her to get that jump serve going. It's such a weapon. I'd love to see her use it more for UCLA.
LSU gets a point at the threes on the right side of your screen. So it'll be Ella Larkin serving, but focus in on the left side. Here goes Denenberg again. Handled better by LSU. Denenberg sends it right back over. Denenberg tagging the line. It is match point at the ones.
At the threes, Aubrey O'Gorman, big transition block to shut down UCLA, and now just down by one.
Match point at the ones. Just wide by Lexi Denenberg.
But now all UCLA has to do at the ones is side out. They cannot take their foot off the gas, though, against LSU.
Match points at both, meaning one of these will turn into a dual point. UCLA needs to win on both courts to win the duel. Denenberg does it at the one, so dual point at the threes right now. LSU continues on. It can be decided at the threes, but not a lot of cushion here for the Bruins.
And this is not an LSU pair you want to take lightly.
O'Gorman. It'll be Kinsey Brower. On to the championship duel. UCLA will face its rival USC. It will be the 1 seed against the 2 seed once again. Their 5th finals appearance overall. They advance to the championship duel for the 3rd time in the last 4 tournaments.
It's an incredible rivalry, too. UCLA, USC, one beat the other in the morning, the other responded. I mean, it can go back and forth, and it's just a flip on one court. Usually a 3-2 score at the end.
Yeah, that was the Pac-12 championship, was these two teams last week. USC coming out with that Pac-12 title. What will be the outcome tomorrow? We will find out. 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN is when we will decide and have our championship duel, USC and UCLA. And it came down to the threes for the Bruins to get there.
And it's Kinsey Brower, first year in the lineup, out of the middle, fastball down the line, defender running it down, but can't get there in time.
What a season, though. What a run for this LSU program that comes in as an 11 seed and makes it all the way to the semifinals.
What Russell Brock did with his team and what those players did in terms of level of execution and the grit and the fight that they showed, I mean, I'm so impressed.
did not have a returning blocker on their team, and yet still found a way to make it to the semifinals of this tournament. An incredible season for LSU, but their magical run ends here as it will be USC and UCLA to play for it all on the beach tomorrow.
I cannot wait. I mean, this is an incredible rivalry. They were the two teams to beat all season long, but they both had to work really hard to get back to this point.
And USC and UCLA, they have faced off 6 times and split those meetings evenly, 3 wins apiece. So tomorrow truly is the deciding duel for it all.
Rubber match, let's go.
Drea has the winning pair for UCLA, Kinsey Brower and Jessie Smith.
Ladies, congratulations. Another shot at the championship tomorrow. Jessie, I'm going to come to you on this one because LSU came in with a ton of momentum, ton of experience, and they had just pulled off 2 upsets. What did it take to get the defeat over LSU?
Oh my gosh, we came into this game knowing that it was going to be a dogfight. We treated them like every other team, and they played a great game, but we just came out and played our game. So.
And Kinsey, for you, this is your first season in the lineup. What does it mean for you to come out here and compete in the sand?
I mean, I just love my team so much, and like they mean the world to me. And Jessie's been a huge help. She's helping me navigate the season, and we have a great coaching staff as well. And we know they play a great game, so we wanted to give them our best game as well.
I'm going to come back to you on this one because, again, you're here for the first time competing in the sand in the lineup, also with Jenny Johnson-Jordan in her first year as a head coach. How would you describe what she's been like for you?
She's just such a leader for me. I mean, her beach volleyball career is so unreal, and she's done amazing things, and I know she's been working so hard for us this season, so we all just want to get out there and work so hard for her, so yeah.
You get a rematch with USC for the championship tomorrow. What does that mean to you?
It means so much. We're going to go out there. It's going to be a dogfight no matter what, but we're going to go out and give our best game and play with heart, so it's going to be a fun one for sure.
You did that same thing today, ladies. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.